yes, I remembered to press the record button, so
it's always
we're
good.
actually recording, guys.
That's good.
It will be. Every show we're going to start out with, did you press the record button?
I see the numbers. So.
Every show.
There you go, guys. So how's everybody doing? How was everybody's week this week? Everybody have a good time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great
awesome,
week.
Awesome. I had a terrible time on Saturday, but last night made up for it. My Cougs got destroyed over the weekend on Saturday in Kansas, but it was sure nice to see Kansas lose to an unranked Kansas State last night, so I'm very happy about that. Other than that, weekend was pretty good. What about you, Sho? How was your week?
It's gotten a lot better when Kyrie came back with Luka and dominated again. So happy to see them boys playing together.
Yep, so am I. What about you, Sooner? How about you? How was your week?
It's good. We had a bad one last weekend, but we bounced back. Yesterday, we did it for Toby Keith. You know, he's a big Oklahoma Sooner fan, and we had.
That's right, he was. Yeah,
that was. He was a big alum follower. You know, it's sad to hear that. I thought he was doing a little bit better, but he was quite a. But the Sooners came to play and they got the win for him. So that's good.
Good. Kellen, any hockey news over there in Avalanche land?
Yeah, I mean the Avs, they're staying decent. They're not looking as dominant. They're still hurting a little on injuries, but still looking pretty good.
Awesome. Well, as you guys realize, we are a few days away from the Super Bowl game. But before we even roll in that direction, I wanted to kind of touch base with you guys and just see if we can follow up on the big question I have for you guys. And that question is, which month out of the year is the best sports month of the year? Now, I know we've kind of prelimed and discussed some things, and I don't mind going first and letting you guys know that I actually believe that it is April that is the best month of the year for sports. And you know why? The number one reason is the Final Four is usually in April these days, and I'm a big college basketball fan, so I definitely enjoy that. And of course, it is the beginning of the NBA playoffs, typically in April. Not to mention the fact the world champion Texas Rangers will be taking the field for opening day, which is always in April. So to me, not to mention the Masters is in April. I know that one of us here at least is not a golfing guy, but the Masters is still a big event for sporting people. And so I'm thinking, I think it's April that's probably the best month for sports. Who's next? Who's got something next here?
I'll follow up with that.
Go, Sean.
Everything that you said, Keemer, but you forgot the one sport. NHL hockey playoffs are starting.
Yes.
And that's an exciting time for me. I'm a big NHL fan as well, former Dallas Stars season ticket holder as well. So go Stars. You know, we're about to take the number one spot from the Avalanche, so not a problem at all.
I didn't realize that we were so good. As you know, I'm not the hockey guy on this team. The hockey guy on this team over here is Mr. Kulik. So why don't you go next, Kulik? Tell us what month you think is the best.
Well, on that note, go Avalanche. I have to go with October. Because October is that month where you get all the major professional sports. Major, I guess I should say professional sports. I did say that. That's when NHL starts, NBA starts, playoff baseball, NFL's in full swing. College football's in full swing.
True.
So I got to go with October. I do understand the April thing, and it is very exciting in April. But I mean, you get all the sports in October, so I got to go with October.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead, Sooner. What you got?
I mean, I got to agree with October, everything he said. But he missed the most important thing. He missed one of the biggest rivalries in sports. OU Texas is always the first Saturday in October at the fairgrounds. It's half and half, and it's amazing. And that it is one of the coolest events. I've been to over 35 of them, and I will tell you, and there's about 90,000 people there, and give or take, maybe a half are women. In 4 hours, you'll never see that many good-looking women in a 4-hour span that you're just sitting around. They're phenomenal Texas and Oklahoma women. Even with the orange, they're just amazing looking.
Sooner, Ohio State, Michigan, and Auburn, Alabama have a bone to pick with that comment.
Yeah. I mean, I just think when you look at the atmosphere, you look at the half and half, you look at it's at the Fairground, it's the Dallas, and I think the biggest thing is OU and Texas have so officially recruited against each other for the same players, and that game sometimes makes a difference. I mean, Adrian Peterson, he was a huge Texas fan, but he saw OU win 4 in a row, and so that was one of the reasons he flipped. Pretty big flip for it. Also, Matt Brown didn't guarantee me he'd play a lot his freshman year, and I think Matt Brown, that may be the bigger reason. So, but
I don't know, but I did forget one activity that does happen in April that is very big sports related, and I do believe that it is April when they have the NFL draft. Is that right?
Yep.
So I guess I win. April is. Oh, no, I got a little puck going.
I gotta say October for sure.
Let's go.
All right. Well, at least we kind of are split here. I'm thinking Show is with me in April.
Yep.
And Kellen and Sooner are in October. The other thing about April is summer's right around the corner. Anyway, moving right along. We made our final determinations as to which direction we're going to go for this upcoming game known as the Super Bowl. I am going to, I did some research and looked around, and there's one thing that almost made me swing to KC. One little factor that made me almost swing to KC. And that factor is Taylor Swift's mom went to U of H. So that was almost a determining factor for me to switch to KC, but I think I'm going to stay with the great San Francisco 49er team. I feel
like you're picking, you're trying to pick the Chiefs by finding that information.
I agree.
I was looking for something. But I really think I'm gonna go against the State Farm commercials and and go with the big dogs on the block, which is San Francisco. I worry a little bit about Purdy living up to the moment. But when you can just turn around and hand the ball off to McCaffrey, or you can just turn the ball and hand it off to Debo Samuels, or throw it and just throw it up in the air, and Debo will catch it for you. I think they've got too many weapons, and I'm gonna stick with what my prelim report was last week with San Francisco. So I think I'm gonna stay with that. What do you got, Sooner?
Well, I'm thinking back to the matchup that when they played about 4 years ago, and that was a game that throughout that game, I remember it seemed like the Niners were going to win, and at the end, kind of the Chiefs pulled it out. But I'd like to see the Niners win. I think they are going to win. I think Shanahan, he's been his head coach for a few years. He's definitely got more experience than he would have had back then. I mean, Andy Reid had a lot more experience on him back then. They have a more consistent running game, and I'd like to see the great Trent Williams to finally get a ring. Won't be shocked if the Chiefs win, but I like the Niners. I like them. I'm going to say 34-27. I think the Niners take it, and then Andy Reid retires after that game.
All right, that's the big prediction. You've said it over and over again. We'll see what happens. Go ahead, Kulik. Who you got?
Yeah, so this is going to be, I think, an interesting game. I think it's going to be a close game. But here's kind of my two takes on it. I do think that Mahomes, with the current receiving core, struggles without Travis Kelce showing up. If Travis Kelce shows up, I could see Kansas City winning this. If he does not, and they have to rely on Tony or some other receivers. I don't see it happening. I just think and also on top of that, if the 49ers find a good scheme somehow to defend Kelsey, as well as defending Pacheco and the runs at the same time, I think San Francisco could end up running away with it. I don't think that'll happen, but I do agree with you that San Francisco just has too many weapons. I do think they are going to win. The odds are a little bit closer than I thought they were going to be. I think Kansas City is on the money line is plus 108, and 49ers are negative 128. But I think another Shanahan is going to be a Super Bowl champion. So I think San Francisco is going to win this. Dare I predict a 31-27 score?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool. What you got, Joe?
Well, I wasn't here last week, so I apologize for that. I'm still a Packers fan, number one. Just want to throw that out there. And we did beat the Cowboys. But I do want to say this. When San Francisco played against Green Bay, I do feel that they got outplayed by Green Bay, the number 7 seed. Even when they played Detroit, San Francisco did not look great that first half, honestly, until they started turning it up. So when it comes to San Francisco, yes, they do have a possibility to win the game. I will say that. However, it just depends when they want to show up and play. Is it going to be the first half where they don't do nothing, and the second half they turn it on? Will it be too long for them to turn it on at that point, and then Kansas City's already pulled off too far ahead? Who knows? But I do want to go with Kansas City on this game. I'm going for Kansas City. Here's why. Everybody's been doubting Kansas City. Mahomes on the road can't win against the Bills. Then Baltimore, number one seed. Lamar's time. Their defense is number one. But Travis Kelce still found a way. He found a way in both the games. He came alive again. He finally came back. Everybody wants to blame Taylor Swift for all this when they only if you really look at it, yeah, she brought a different demographic, but they only show her on TV a couple times. They show the guys with the shirts off with the beer bellies that they were talking about earlier today on camera more as well. But no one's bringing that up, but they're talking about Taylor. So at the end of the day, I do feel, like the song, with all the haters out there, like Taylor has it, so I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but Kansas City, I'm gonna be a Swiftie on this game. Kansas City's gonna win. I'm gonna say they win by 10.
Really? You think that much, huh?
Yeah.
I think that.
I think Travis Kelce's gonna light it up.
Show, I saw a video on the internet that the 49ers might do their tunnel walkout song to that.
Yeah.
And that would be hilarious. But you know what? Hey, I think you were hating on Jason Kelce a little bit. Jason Kelce right now, he's a national treasure. He has taken a focus away from Taylor Swift.
Well, no. He is, but at the same time, all that's going to feed into the energy of Travis Kelce, and that's one of those things that he is going to infect the Kansas City Chiefs with, is that positiveness and that aggression, and they're feeding into it. So let them play the songs, let them talk noise about Taylor, let them talk noise, because it's going to just make Kelce a better player, and he's going to go off on them, and then Big Red's going to retire, as well as the Kelce brothers walking out, riding into sunset with a championship again.
You think Kelce? You think the KC Kelce's going to retire too?
Yeah, they're talking about he's talking about getting married and all that and having kids. I bet very easily he could retire. His big brother retires, he'll retire.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised about his brother, but I will tell you one thing about Taylor Swift. The late great Keith that we just lost on Monday. A lot of people don't know. He actually signed her very first record.
He sure did. He sure did. Oh, man, I understand hate is going to hate, but we ain't talking the 48s. We're talking the 49ers, baby. And I just think I don't know. I'm an offense guy. I think they've got just too much offense.
If you want me to stir the pot on this one, the 49ers should only have 4. Cowboys should have 6 rings. That was pass interference.
Yes, it was. I agree with you.
So
Totally
I'll support Dallas on that 100%. You know,
right.
so no knocks. And no knocks. Like I remember Ken Griffey or Ken Norton Jr., the first man to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. You can't discount him for that. But if it wasn't for that penalty, Dallas would have had the 6. 49ers would still have 4, and Steve Young would not have a thing.
Nope, he would not have a thing. Exactly. No, I'm with you on that. Totally with you on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like a wrap for all of that. But I do have a question for you. Do you think it's even possible Andy Reid gets out-coached?
I say no because of his years of experience. But there is a possibility. Don't get me wrong. There's a possibility, but I think Big Red will pull it out.
Okay.
I think Andy will do fine, but I just think the Niners are they're due. I think it's just their time. I mean, they've been close, and I just think they'll make enough plays to do it. But I think the Chiefs will play pretty well. But I think the Niners are just probably a little better team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If anybody could outcoach Andy Reid, it would take a Shanahan to do it, and I think Shanahan could do it.
That's kind of my point. My point.
Yeah, I think he can. I'm not going to make a prediction on if he will or not, but I think he very well can.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And if Andy Reid retires, it'd be hard to not say that probably Shanahan is probably the best coach in the NFL. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. He's got a pretty good. Harbaugh at Baltimore, but I don't think Harbaugh is quite as a genius as Shanahan. I think Andy Reid right now is the best. But if he retires, I think Shanahan's probably the best.
Mm-hmm. I do have to admit that Reid is really good. He does some good commercials too, so we like that. We like that.
With the chicken nuggets.
With the chicken nugget. Hey, let's do that again with the chicken nuggets. Yeah, I love that commercial too. But let me ask you guys another question. Where are you guys watching the Super Bowl at?
I'm hosting a DFW watch party in South Lake for my alumni association for my fraternity. So all my fraternity brothers are going to be out there with their families and friends and all that.
Oh, gee, thanks for inviting me. South Lake is right up the road here.
Well, come on out. I'll send you the address. Let's go.
Cool.
Well,
as long as you're good with beer burgers. So
I recently moved to a new house, and it was a little bit of delay in getting the TV, but I made sure, and I got to give my girlfriend credit. It came from her apartment. But we just got it set up tonight, so the big 75-inch is ready to go for the game. So we're good to go.
Awesome. What about you, Mr. Kulik?
Yeah, I do believe I'm going to go watch it with my father. He is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I will go watch it. He promised to go to the Dolphins Super Bowl with me if I watched the Chiefs Super Bowl with him. So,
is he up there in Colorado with you?
He is right now. He lives part-time here, part-time in Dallas, but he is up here right now. So that awesome. I believe is going to be the plan. He wanted me to wear a Chiefs shirt, but I would never ever do that.
How about a Taylor Swift shirt?
Yes.
I would wear a Taylor Swift shirt before I would wear a Kansas City shirt.
Now, did he follow the Chiefs was he like a fan of them when they were the Texans? Because my ex-wife's grandpa, he never liked the Cowboys. He was a fan of the Texans, and then he stayed with them when they went to the Chiefs. And thank goodness he saw before he passed. He did see the Chiefs finally win a few years ago.
So what was the question?
Was your dad from Dallas and followed the Texans and then decided to stay with them when they moved to Kansas City?
My dad's not from Texas at all. In fact, he only moved down there because my sister is down there and my niece and nephews are down there. He's actually from northeastern Nebraska, and in northeastern Nebraska, you really have three choices. You have three choices: Kansas City Chiefs, the Minnesota Vikings, and the western half of the state are Broncos. So yeah, that's kind of how that happened. They moved out to Denver, became a Broncos fan, and it's the only team he'll cheer for over the Chiefs.
That's a pretty hardcore team too.
Yeah, it is. It's
Stiff
kind of
rivalry.
like me. It's kind of like me. The only time I won't cheer for the Broncos are when they're playing the Dolphins. So
Yeah, but the Chiefs and the Chiefs and Denver, they play twice a year, so that's a fit.
that's true.
Cool. Well, I will be here at home checking out the game where I can actually pay attention to the most important part of the game, the commercials, because I just love to watch some of those commercials. They're great, I usually get about 2 or 3 that are really good, and the rest are but we'll see. I like that, and of course, we'll have a little bit of a spread here. I think we might have a couple of guests over as well. So, but anyway, I hope everybody has a good week coming up. But before I let you guys go, as always, it's time for a little shout out. Let me hear a little bit about what you're focused on for this week, or what you want to shout out about this week, or whatever. Go ahead, Sooner, what you got?
Well, I got to give a shout. I mentioned this last week that my daughter, who's a junior at Hebron High, her drill team went to competition Saturday, and they rolled. All 4 dances that the big team that she was in, they won first in all 4, and then they won the grand champion. So they won, I think, between individual and small and big. I think Hebron took 20 awards. So that was a heck of it.
Awesome.
And then on Saturday, I think it's even a bigger where there'll be even more competition. So hopefully they can go and just roll the competition again. So I'll be cheering her Saturday afternoon. That was at Argyle High School. This one is at Flower Mound Market High School, and
awesome.
So Argyle's I've never been out of that area. It's a lot of farmland. There's some big, nice houses out there.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to her and her team, man.
Yeah, really. What you got, Show?
Well, my niece is heading to Orlando with Plano East Senior High School for the cheerleading competition for the nation. So they qualified a few weeks ago in Fort Worth. Now they're heading out there to Orlando at Universal, where they're going to do their performance and everything. So excited to hear how they do, and hopefully she gets a scholarship out of it from somebody.
Somebody where you can go see a game for free, right? So you look at Alabama, you look at
exactly. So I'm hoping the best for her, and shout out to the Dallas Mavericks. Need y'all to turn it up and get number 1 seed, like the Dallas Stars have. But it's time to turn it up.
What year is your niece?
She's a senior. She graduates in May. So
cool.
That's why I'm pushing for the scholarship.
Awesome. All right, what you got, Mr. Kulik? I saw a video pop up.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But first, Show, did I hear you say Dallas Stars number 1 seed?
They were yesterday or 2 days ago, but they'll get it back from the Colorado. It's easy.
Avalanche.
It's like taking candy from a baby. Real easy.
All right, I've got 2 shout outs. My boy Suna here has said it a couple times, the late great Toby Keith. My mother was a big fan of Toby Keith. She loved that song, Red Solo Cup. So I got to give not only a cheers to my mom, but also the late great Toby Keith. Red Solo Cup, you fill me up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Second, yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I said cheers for that. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. So the second thing I wanted to share today was, we may not be getting Eminem in the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions, but we did have another pretty cool rapper in the Pro Bowl with Eli Manning. So I want to show this little clip because this is just savage on all levels, and I am all here for it. So I'm just going to play this real quick for us.
Go for it.
Dex, come back, Dex. There we go. Here we go. Are you ready? Go ahead, Ephesians. I'm Eli Manning. I'm nice. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Psych! I beat him twice! Hold it back!
So I had to give that shout out to Eli Manning. That was in my opinion, one of the greatest things that came out of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
It's probably one of the greatest things that ever came out of his mouth, too. By the way, so just
I still don't know how the guy. Still don't know how that guy caught the ball, but that catch was amazing.
I mean, besides Frank's Red Hot sauce, that's about it.
Well, being last man up here, I've got to give my U of H Cougs the shout out this week, as I shout out every week as they march to the #1 seed in the country. Thank you, Kansas, for losing yesterday. Thank you for North Carolina for losing yesterday, which will probably put the Cougs rating about #3 in the country coming around on Monday when the ratings come out. But more importantly, I'm with you on the Mavericks. Hopefully they can get themselves healthy. They still need Lively back in the lineup. They need Exum back in the lineup. That's been their problem the whole year is injuries. They're a good team. They'll if they can just stay healthy, they'll be fine. And the trade deadline is tomorrow. I believe it's 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central. And hopefully we can get a piece. I don't want to give up too much, but I'd like to get another piece, somebody that can contribute. And we'll see how that works. But for now, what I got to say is the usual, love you, but we got to go. We are the Sportspage Pundits. We will be back next week with another show. We'll probably do a little bit of a Super Bowl recap, and we'll begin to move into basketball. We'll probably talk some trades that have happened in the next 24 hours. Probably talk a little bit about the All-Star game and all of that kind of stuff. And then we'll be ready for the end of the regular season as that rolls around. So stick with the pundits. We will be back next week.
Later,
people.
Later.
Good one.